Okay, and now the fourth turn is just the same thing. We're going to roll it back out. Keep adding flour. Okay, and now we're ready to fold again. So bring it back, and you see some butter peeking through, so I like to put more flour. And then fold it over. So now we've done our 4 rolls, and that's all we're going to do for this puff pastry today. And you're ready to stick it in the fridge again for about an hour. So now for the easier and fun part. I waited an hour to get my puff pastry dough from the fridge. And now you're putting it back on your workplace. Make sure there's lots of flour on the surface. And also make sure you've already preheated your oven to 400 degrees. And pretty much what we're going to do is the easiest part of this whole thing. We're going to start the palmiers, and it's very, very simple. All we need now is sugar. Lots of palmier recipes can be used with different ingredients. You can use chocolate, cinnamon, even as exotic as lavender and chamomile. But right now we're just going to do the basic plain palmier. And it's lots and lots of sugar, so it'll be good. So we're just flattening out our dough, and what you're going to do is just try to get it as flat as you can with your rolling pin. So now that we've completely made this as flat as we could, we're going to put a generous amount of sugar over the surface. Thank you, Mom. And just use a lot, I guess. That's what the recipe calls for. If you don't think you have enough, don't worry, because as we do the folding, there's going to be more sugar on the other sides as well. So now for the rolling, which is kind of difficult when you have such a large sheet of pastry, so you can get an assistant like I did. Okay. Do this. Okay, ready? What you're going to do is go to one side and start rolling the dough towards the middle. Okay, and once you feel like you've gotten towards the middle, you can go to the other side. And start rolling the other. This is going to create that unique shape that palmiers have. They look kind of like elephant ears, or a bow, I guess. And just roll it in. The next step is to cut the whole thing into 1/2-inch slices. And then you're going to sugar them again. So, don't worry. Thank you. So once you cut it, put it on your workspace and make it flat. And what you're going to do is put some more sugar on your workspace and sprinkle it on, so that there's plenty of sugar, and flatten it with your palm. Okay, now you're ready to put it on your tray with the parchment paper. And you're just going to keep going through that until you've filled your tray. This is what your palmiers should look like on your baking tray. So as you can see, your pastries are going to look almost like little hearts. They're very, very pretty, and when they come out of the oven, or rather when they're ready, they'll be a nice flaky golden brown, and pretty soon layers and layers will be forming with the butter and the dough and flour, and they just look really. So here's our first batch that I showed you before, just out of the oven, and as you can see, there's hundreds and hundreds of little layers, and if you could smell it, it smells really buttery right now. As a garnish, you're just going to put some sugar sprinkled on top to make them extra, extra sweet.